There's a funeral happening around you right now. You can't hear the choir, you can't smell the flowers, you can't see the graves, but it's happening. It's everywhere. It's not a funeral for bodies. It's a funeral for something far more tragic. It's a funeral for ambition, for potential, for dreams that died screaming, but no one heard because their owners were too busy scrolling, complaining, and making excuses. The saddest graves are the ones you dig yourself. The saddest funerals are the ones you attend every day without even realizing. You walk past dead dreams in coffee shops. You sit next to murdered hopes in classrooms. You shake hands with ghosts wearing suits and ties, hiding the corpses of who they could have been. They laugh, they smile, they joke, they pretend, but deep down, they know, they remember. They remember when they were wild. They remember when they burned with a fire bigger than their fears. They remember when they were dangerous, but they let it die. First came doubt, then came fear, then came comfort, then came compromise. And now they exist, but they don't live. And you, watching this right now, you feel it too. The pull, the whisper, the sick feeling in your gut that you are capable of so much more, but you're suffocating it every day under the weight of fear and laziness. This isn't about hustle culture. This isn't about working harder or getting rich. This is about survival, the survival of your soul. Because if you don't fight back, if you don't resurrect the savage inside you, you will become one of them, another face in the crowd, another wasted life buried under a mountain of excuses. And no one will save you. No hero is coming. No savior is coming. No second chance is coming. It's you versus the grave. Choose. Part 1. Why most people stay weak. Expanded. Weakness isn't random. Weakness is designed. Society doesn't want you strong. It doesn't want you independent. It doesn't want you thinking for yourself. It wants you obedient. It wants you fragile. It wants you scared. So you consume without questioning, obey without resistance, survive without demanding more. You were born wild. You were born fearless. You didn't care about rejection. You didn't care about failure. You didn't care about looking stupid. You only cared about conquering, about growing, about exploring. You climbed trees too high. You jumped off swings without thinking. You chased the sun until you collapsed, laughing. That was you before the world taught you fear. And how did they teach you? They punished your courage. They shamed your boldness. They humiliated your ambition. They told you to sit down, be quiet, stay safe. And every time you listened, a piece of you died. A small funeral inside your mind. Silent, invisible, permanent. Until eventually, you became a tamed version of yourself. Still breathing, still walking, but no longer alive. And the worst part, you thought it was your choice. You thought it was maturity. You thought it was wisdom. It wasn't. It was programming. It was systematic soul murder, disguised as love, disguised as responsibility, disguised as the way things are. And unless you deprogram yourself now, unless you tear the chains off your mind, you will die without ever even tasting your full power. A king who never wore his crown. A warrior who never lifted his sword. A legend no one will ever hear about. Part 2. The hidden forces keeping you fragile. Expanded. Emotional addiction. You are addicted. Not to drugs, not to alcohol, not even to comfort. You are addicted to validation. You need it. You crave it. You live for it. A like, a heart emoji, a comment telling you you're good enough. It feels like oxygen. Without it, you suffocate. And they know that. They designed it that way. Because a man who needs approval is a man who can be controlled. If your emotions depend on external approval, you are a slave. You dress for them, you post for them, you talk for them, you live for them. And every day you do that, you weaken until there's nothing left of the savage that once lived inside you. Only a puppet dancing for scraps of validation. Kill the addiction, starve it until it dies screaming. Only then will you breathe your own air again. Permission culture. You were trained to wait. Wait for permission. Wait for the right time. Wait for approval. Wait until you feel ready. You wait and you rot. Opportunity doesn't wait. War doesn't wait. Conquest doesn't wait. The world belongs to those who move, even when they're scared, even when they're not ready, even when no one believes in them. If you're waiting for permission to be great, you've already lost. You're not supposed to wait for the green light. You are the green light. Move now. before the grave swallows you too. Internalized fragility. They made you believe you were fragile. Every time you cried, they shamed you. Every time you raged, they punished you. Every time you dared to want more, they called you greedy. They made you afraid of your own strength. So now, you hesitate. You second guess. You apologize for your hunger. You call it being realistic. You call it being mature. It's not. It's self-sabotage. It's spiritual suicide. You weren't born fragile. You were born dangerous. And it's time to remember. Part 3. How to become unbreakable. Expanded. Radical self-sufficiency. You stop needing them, their applause, their approval, their permission. You create your own validation. You build your own momentum. You breathe your own oxygen. Even if the world turns its back, you move forward. Even if no one claps, you execute. Even if no one sees you, you dominate. Voluntary pressure. You choose the hard path. You seek pain. You make war against your own weakness every day. You lift. You run. You bleed. You sacrifice. Because the harder you are on yourself, the easier life becomes. Comfort weakens you. Discomfort fortifies you. Every time you choose pain voluntarily, you level up, you sharpen, you strengthen, you become untouchable. Brutal ownership. Everything is your fault, your failures, your pain, your scars. Own it all, not because you're guilty, but because you're responsible. And responsibility equals power. Blame is slavery. Ownership is sovereignty. Strategic vulnerability. You confront your darkness. You don't hide your fears. You weaponize them. You don't deny your flaws. You train them into strengths. You don't run from your demons. You harness them. Final war. Solitude and the forge. Before you conquer the world, you must conquer yourself in silence. Before you build an empire, you must survive absolute loneliness. You must walk through hell with no applause, no encouragement, no hand to hold, just you, your demons, your dreams, your war. Solitude is the forge. Loneliness is the fire. Most people run from it. You will run into it. You will stand alone until the loneliness doesn't hurt anymore, until the silence becomes your armor, until the pain becomes your power, and then you will rise, unbreakable, unstoppable, unforgettable. Final closing. If you're ready to master that silence, if you're ready to forge yourself in fire, watch this next. How solitude creates the strongest minds. No witnesses, no applause, no backup, just you, your scars, and the empire you were born to build.